How we doing there, boys and girls? Manthieus here and welcome back to another video. So it's now becoming more and more possible for more and more people to get into the legendary market, and I wanted to give you guys a bit of an overview of exactly how you should go about approaching the legendary market if you're not already in it. It's become very, very widely known by anybody that tries to make gold in this game that there's loads of gold to be made in crafting and selling legendaries. But up until this point, the barrier to entry to get into that market has been really, really quite high. You go check your auction house at the moment, and if you're looking at crafting any ranks 1s, 2s or 3s of the current legendaries, you're probably going to find that they're not selling for a huge amount. In most cases, crafting them and then trying to sell them, you're having to take a loss just to basically give them away. But with patch 9.1, the Vestige of Origins system has brought upon us these optional reagents that can now make sure that we can level up our legendaries whilst actually creating stuff that people still want and obviously hopefully turn a nice profit as well. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes today about exactly how we can go about doing this, because it's not necessarily straightforward or obvious. Let's talk about the Vestige of Origins for a second then. The Vestige of Origins is an item that can be crafted by any of the legendary crafting professions. So that's your jewel crafters, your blacksmiths, your tailors and your leather workers. Once you've spent a bit of time in Korthia, you'll either have completed the campaign and just have been given this, or in case you missed it, you can always buy it off the Death's Advance reputation master. What's her name? Duchess Minx, I think, is the character name over in Korthia. And you'll be able to craft one of these. Now, the recipe is ever so slightly different depending on which profession you're dealing with. It's going to use some of the materials from that profession. This is the jewel crafting one, for example. But as you can see, the lion's share of the cost for making these has been the Korthite crystals. We spoke recently, though, about how the Korthite crystals have absolutely tanked in value. Instead of them being 1,500 gold a piece, they're a lot more reasonable nowadays. Blizzard made a few changes to how the drop rate works on them, and it's brought the price down, at least in many places, to, I don't know, 400 to 600 gold is probably a good ballpark number for the Korthite crystal right now, meaning these Vestige of Origins are a little bit more cheaper to craft. But how do we use this Vestige of Origin, and how can we use it to make a bit more gold with legendaries, and how can we use it to level up our legendary professions in a more profitable way? Well, when we go to craft any single rank of the legendary, I'll use the Shadowlands ring for an example, considering jewel crafting is really popular at the moment. Everybody wants themselves a Shadowlands ring, regardless of which rank you have access to. Now at the beginning you'll only be able to make a rank 1. This is where you start with. You need a bunch of essences, a bunch of arboreals, a bunch of Shadowlands ingots, and you can make Shadowlands rings at rank 1, item level 190. Trying to sell those though is going to be tough to turn a profit. What we can do though is occasionally, when the price is right, and we'll talk about exactly how we calculate when the price is right, we could add a Vestige of Origins to this, and what it will do is it will bump up the item level of the crafted item by 2 ranks. So in legendary terms, it's going to mean that literally from the very start, you can actually start crafting rank 3 items, and you can be gaining experience in leveling up your professions by crafting these higher rank items. Rank 3s have got a much better chance of selling for a profit, and eventually by the time you've gained enough experience in crafting these initial rank 1s or rank 3s by adding vestiges, you'll unlock rank 2, and then guess what? That's unlocked not only the ability to create rank 2s, but you could add a vestige to a rank 2 and make a rank 4, and this is how the system steps up. Now for most players this has not really been something that's very viable, because these Vestige of Origins were stupidly expensive, but now with the Korthite crystals coming down a significant amount, it puts it in the hands of many more players to be able to go out and do this. If you've not really had the opportunity to play with the legendary crafting system so far, it's a lot more manageable to get into now. Now, we did mention earlier, though, that we should only really be using these vestiges when the price is right. How do we go about working out when the price is right? Now, I can't necessarily tell you exactly what the selling price is of all of the legendaries on your server, but what I can do is give you the tools to work out exactly how much it costs to craft these things at the different options. So crafting it normally or crafting it with a lower rank and a vestige. So time to introduce you to my Shadowlands cheat sheet. This is probably not new to everybody. Regular viewers of the channel will have probably seen my Shadowlands cheat sheet, and maybe many of you will have even used it frequently up until this point. It's had a bit of a facelift recently. You may now see that it's got a bit more of a dark mode theme to it. It doesn't look quite as much like just a basic Excel spreadsheet anymore. And yes, it looks like a rainbow is vomited on it. I've put some pretty colours here, there and everywhere. But trust me, it does actually feel a lot more simplistic to use now that it's more than just, you know, a black and white Excel spreadsheet. This Shadowlands cheat sheet, if you guys want to use it yourself, is the most latest version is always pinned in my Discord. So the link to Discord is down below. Jump in the Discord. Feel free to say hi in any one of the channels over there. But the cheat sheet is always linked there for you, so you can get the most up-to-date copy of it. Just make sure that if you want to edit any of the values in the spreadsheet, that you make a copy of it yourself. Just hit File, and then just go to make a copy, and it'll save a local copy for you, which you can then go in and edit to your heart's content. But for the purpose of today, let's take a very quick look at the ring and neck legendaries, or jewel crafting. And we can see now that I've made a few subtle changes to this. If this is the first time you've seen this, let me give you a quick brief overview of exactly what it does. It's pretty simple. You just need to input your price list. You need to fill out the price list with the prices that you're paying for the materials. If you haven't bought any materials yet, maybe take a jump onto your auction house and just see what the sort of the market price is for these materials and input those figures there. It'll give you the spreadsheet does everything. You fill in the yellow boxes and it'll do the rest for you. But let's take a look and see how it works then. So the Shadowghast rings, we can see that there takes a certain amount of materials. There's the single cost value to make a single one at the specific rank, and you'll see this little orange pop up here. As and when it's cost effective for you to craft that item with a vestige, this little thing will pop up. Now you see, if we put our quartzite crystals back up to silly prices, you know, all of a sudden the Vestige of Origins are too expensive to make. You're going to just have to make them normally. But if you're on a realm where the price is coming back down to something a lot more manageable, you may start seeing the option to craft rank 2s with a vestige to make a rank 4. Not only will you save yourself some gold on the crafting cost of that rank 4 item, firstly, giving you access to that rank of legendary maybe before you can even craft it normally, but secondly gives you a really competitive advantage over the rest of the market that maybe isn't utilizing this. Maybe they're just taking their Shadowghast ingots, their Essence of Rebirth, their Essence of Torment and their Arboreal Shards, and they're making default basic rank 4s, unaware that if they were to use the Vestige of Origins they could actually be making them cheaper. So this not only gives you the advantage of being able to craft higher rank legendaries before you even unlock them, but it also, assuming the price is right, gives you a very competitive advantage when going to sell those and to make yourself that little bit of gold. This works for all of the legendary professions. I've focused on jewel crafting for the purpose of this video, but we have a sheet for tailoring, we have one for Umbra Hide gear, we have one for Bone Shatter, and we have one for Shadowghast plate stuff, along with many other tools for you to use when it comes to making gold in Shadowlands. So there we go, boys and girls. Feel free to jump onto the Shadowlands cheat sheet, save a copy of it for yourself. I've got to, at this moment, give a bit of a shout out to my Patreons, as those are the guys that financially support this channel and give me the flexibility to spend a lot more time and effort on tools like this for the masses than I would normally be able to. So if you are a patron of mine, thank you. I highly appreciate your support. If you wish to help support the channel and get access to these tools before they go publicly available, consider checking out the Patreon yourself. Totally optional, up to you. Link is in the description down below. But I'll leave it there for today's video, boys and girls. Go out there and have a look at this. See if crafting the legendaries is profitable for you yet. See if the price of the Korthite crystals has come down enough for you to get in on the legendary market, because it's a very, very lucrative market. It's quite competitive, but there's lots of gold to be made there if you're willing to put in the time and effort. So if you enjoyed the video, give the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.